Let's try to do the impossible and let's try to see if we can find a property of around 200,000 euros and Lisbon, capital of Portugal, is quite the quest. So let's go and see what we find, and hold on until the very end because I'm gonna show you a truly bizarre situation. Let me know what do you think about that situation I'm gonna show you on the end of the video, but let's go and see if we can spot some good properties. Start this journey of finding a good deal in Lisbon for under 200,000 euros. I know this is an unbelievable quest, but let's go and let's see what are the things we find. I selected a very specific area of Lisbon, let's call it the very centric part of Lisbon. Here's the maximum price I'm putting. This is the square meters minimum, because otherwise you get literally holes, I don't know what to call them. And let's look at it. And you're gonna see a trend. You can already see it here, right? You see arrendada means rented. And guess what type of contract they have? They have the death of rental agreements, which is someone older than 65 years old that had this contract for 20 years. That basically locks them to have that rental until the end of their lives. So it's a lot of money to pour an investment that you don't know when you're gonna get it. And you'll notice in all of these types of ads, they will never tell you how old this person is. Never. They will never easily give you, and by the way, this is almost 200 euros rent for life of this person. They will never tell you exactly what type of contract they have, and these are key information you need. You need to exactly look at the contract, because there's a big loophole that people forget, which is if in the contract the tenant did not relinquish his right to eventually co-live with someone, that means that that person could pass away and someone shows up and says, oh, I lived with him. Here's the bills. I paid the electricity. I paid this. I paid that. I paid half of the rent. And now you're in big trouble, because you need to legally go to court with this person, and you never know who the judge might side with, because the tenant in the contract did not relinquish his rights of co-living with someone else. So it's a big problem. And I do not recommend these type of deals. And unfortunately, these are the things that are popping up in here, as you can see. This is another one which is very misleading. They tell you, we're selling this vivenda, big house, but wow, fantastic price for the square meters in Belém. But when you scroll, it says, oh, this is just a third. Okay, just a third. There's 2 more guys that are gonna want this amount of money. It starts not being appealing at all. So this is the type of things you find, but the most predominant, other than this one is an interesting one. I find that they only give you 3D images. So basically it must be a terrible state of an apartment, and oh yeah, you just pay this, but then you need to total rebuild this house. And by the way, when you total rebuild and you have a project with camera, you need to abide to the patterns of today. In the patterns of today, I can tell you, they request a lot of iron in these houses for earthquake prevention, or being houses that are more solid. So what could have costed you 100,000 back in the day, now it can cost you 3 times more. So this is very, also do not recommend. And then you scroll, and again, renda vitalícia, here we go again. But it's a lot of money for something that's going to be locked for such a long time, and everything looks like that. But other than that, let me tell you the little story of what happened. There's a neighborhood that I love in Lisbon, which is Estrela, you probably noticed, if you follow me in the channel. And I'm always on the lookout. Maybe I can find a total rundown apartment there that I can renovate for a decent price. And today it popped up in my radar, a fantastic price. I was like, whoa, this is too good to be true. And Probably was. Let me know in the comments. Now I'm gonna show you what I saw. I got an alert on my favorite neighborhood, Estrela, for this fantastic price of 270,000 euros for 90 square meters, even the last floor looking really, really good. This makes it at 3,000 euros the square meter, which is an unbelievable price, as Estrela right now is almost reaching the 7,000 square meters, which is insanity. Look what happens when I refresh almost 2 hours later. Whoa, look, the price just went way above. Now it's like 500,000. I got a message from the owner saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't realize that I made a typo on the price. Let me know if you're still interested." Well, now no longer. I mean, now it's a price that I still think it's insane for Lisbon. I hope you enjoyed this video. Looking forward to know what were your thoughts about that last example I gave you, what happened there. Thank you so much for watching until the very end, and till the very next time.